I'm Laura Roser, and I'm happy to have Gloria Bares here with me, who has written this incredible poem for our magazine. And you'll have to, go to it's issue 18 of the magazine, or it's also on our blog. You'll have to go and check it out. But Gloria, tell me a little bit about your background and how you started writing poetry.
I started writing after I retired as a teacher, and I started writing in story form, and I found that it was too wordy, so I honed down the poems to prose, and that I guess you'd call it prose poetry. So I'm trying to get the very essence of what I'm trying to say, and that's why I chose prose poetry.
Excellent. And so tell me about this poem, or why you chose to write about gardening and how it became such a bonding experience for you and your father.
Okay, my dad was very tall and athletic and a quiet man. He was not a conversationalist. Mother was strong-minded and verbal. Dad found quiet time, I think, in the garden. He was his own person there, contented tending the soil, growing plants, and proud of his production of vegetables and flowers. He was patient, never hurried, concentrated on what he was doing. Perhaps his mind was set free there. As I grew up, I knew where to find him. He would be in the garden.
Excellent. I love that. So have you kept up gardening throughout your life, like as you went into adulthood and now?
Oh, yes. It seems that everywhere I lived, I had a garden. Sometimes just a patch, sometimes in pots, but always present. It was my escape from pressure, a time just to be free and let the angst disappear by concentrating on what was happening in the garden. It was a happy time for me, a feeling of accomplishment, a joy that neutralized the pressures of my day. I still have a growing area around my condo and a vegetable plot down by the pool. Just like my dad, the garden is a filter through which I relive events until the sting becomes understood or at least accepted. I smile now when I realize the sun is going down and I'm still in my garden. It's my quiet time, evaluation time. I often smile as I realize I am just like my dad.
Absolutely. I love that. So is your gardening, itself, it sounds like it's almost a therapy for you.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm. Oh,
yeah,
yes.
How does it make you, does it make you think of your father as you're gardening, or is it more, he helped you to learn this method of sort of de-stressing and letting go and being mindful in the moment?
Yes, that was really, he modeled that for me because he wasn't a conversationalist. So I picked up from him this contentment, this peace, being in the garden, maybe just being by himself, where there wasn't any pressure to talk or to entertain, just to be himself. And I think that was the joy that neutralized the pressure of his day. And I picked that up too. So I find myself in the garden working and realize that there was something that was bothering me that I just wanted to work out. And so I just go where I'm at peace. And that's just like my dad.
Wow. So I love that you've chosen the art form of poetry. And, you know, some writers say that that's kind of the most pure form of writing, because you have to pick very, very specific words, you know, for what you mean, and say it in a very short amount of time, or you have very little room. How has poetry sort of helped you express yourself?
It is a process, Laura, really. I start off with what it is I'd like to say, or what a moment means to me. And often it's too many words. So I will edit it down and edit it down. And even sometimes I will put the poem away for a while and sort of let it simmer. But when it's finished, it has the feelings in it that I would like to share. And I hope the essence of the experience will hit a universal feeling in others that read it. So it's a form of sharing my life and giving others a feeling of universality of expression.
I love that. And so when you write, how important are relationships? So like relationships with, you know, your mother or your father, or as you were growing up, you know, romantic relationships or otherwise, how did that influence your poetry?
I'm sorry, how does what?
How does relationships influence your poetry? Like relationships with your father and mother?
Well, my father was not verbal, so therefore he gave me permission to try and understand how I was feeling, or what was important to me. And it takes a while to have that form in your mind. So the poetry gives to others my experiences that held lessons for my life. And that's where my father came in, because he gave me enough quiet time, enough time by myself when I was young. And then when he was physically able, he showed me the importance of solitude, the importance of recognizing nature's beauty. And I think he showed me a calmness of spirit that could be found outdoors.
Wow, I love that. So the poem, just for anyone listening, is called Clippers, sorry, let me say that one more time. Clippers, Snippers, and Spade.
And Spade, right.
Right, and it's beautiful. It's by Gloria Bares. And you'll notice the poem, the language she uses is very simple, but it's very powerful. And it just is this incredible, you know, journey of her gardening with her father. And I thank you, Gloria. Is there anything else you'd like to add?
No, that's fine. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to share that.
Yes, absolutely.
That is very rewarding to me. Thank you.
Well, good. Well, thank you so much. And this has been incredible talking with you and learning, having a little bit more insight into how you got into poetry and how your father influenced your life. It's incredible.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Good night.
All right, good night.
If you're interested in passing your non-financial assets like your wisdom, your values, and your beliefs to your family and leaving a great impact on the world, make sure to grab a free subscription to our online magazine. Go to legacyartsmagazine.com and you'll see it there. In every issue, we interview fascinating people about their legacies, from Fortune 500 CEOs to artists to philanthropic leaders to best-selling authors. We also offer tips, guidance, and strategies for developing an excellent legacy of your own.